Welcome, everybody. I am Lori Kearney, certified nutrition health coach and wellness educator, and the owner of Mindful Health. So I welcome you all to the 2018 Spring Whole Foods Cleanse. I am so excited that you are all here, and I am excited for all the results that you will be having at the end of next week. So we're going to be talking a lot about the rules, the regulations, and all the fun stuff about the cleanse, but also about maybe some of the side effects, the good and bad, and how you can be a success. So I'm going to be coming over to a PowerPoint here, so I'm just going to screen share. So we're going to be talking about our intention for the 5-day Whole Foods Cleanse. There's many of you that have done this multiple times with me each season. And each time it's a little bit different when we detox and our intention for that. We're going to quickly go through what the definition of a detox and a cleanse is, why should we all cleanse, what we're going to expect, and how to be a success during the cleanse. I'm also going to be going through some food items so you know what to look for when you're at the grocery store, and then again, time to answer any questions. So first of all, for those of you that have not met me, I am Lori Kearney, and I am the facilitator of this Whole Foods Cleanse. I received my certification from the Institute of Integrated Nutrition, which is the world's largest nutrition school. I also have my degrees in psychology and business. I coach clients individually on their health goals. That is in person, on the phone, or just like this, video chat. I also conduct wellness workshops at a variety of corporations and organizations. And then just like we're doing here, I run a seasonal online detox program. So the next one is going to be July 23rd for the summer cleanse. So set your calendars now if that interests you. Just a quick note about why I am doing this. I was eating the standard American diet for most of my life. I loved grilled cheese and French fries and pizza and lots of Diet Coke. And then I was in an accident in 2012, almost 6 years ago next month. And it changed my life, my direction, because I was not able to go back to work. I was in pain with a traumatic brain injury with headaches, depression, anxiety, sensitivity to lights and sounds, and then extreme fatigue, and didn't feel myself. And after years of rehab, not a lot changed. And it wasn't acceptable to me when the doctor said, you're as good as you're going to get after 2.5 years. And that's when I started to work with a health coach and started to change my diet, change the way I live, how I view things. And so with practicing eating a nutrient-dense diet and practicing yoga and meditation and adding fun into my life and all those good things, I have been able to heal myself holistically. I still have symptoms that I have to manage, but it's pretty amazing. And so the goal of this week and why I developed this is because I didn't realize how good you could feel when you eat real food. So much of the time we eat and we don't think about what we're eating or how it's going to affect us. So think about during this next week, are you feeling more energy? Is your brain clearer? Are your joints aching less? Because eating a clean diet just clears up so much. And this is only 5 days, but the goal of it is much greater. The goal is for you to emotionally connect to why you want to keep doing this. So at the end, we're going to be doing another webinar, and I'm going to be asking you about maybe some changes that you want to make in your life. So just think about all the changes that you're making and what you really like for that. So I ask you all just to find a quiet spot if you're not already there. Maybe close the door, make sure your phone notifications are off. I'm going to be giving you a lot of information, and I would love you to all be mindful just right here, right now. And if you would like, you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And I want you to imagine it is next Saturday morning and you are done with your cleanse. And what are the results that you want to get? What is your intention? Is it that you want to have better sleep? Maybe you want to have more energy. Maybe you need help giving up an unhealthy habit, or kicking the sugar habit. Maybe you are just like sick of this long winter and spring we had, and you are just excited to get your swimsuit on, and you want to look good and feel good. So just connect to that vision and then feel it. Like, what does it feel like to have that abundance of energy, to look good, to know that you're making good decisions, how you cook for yourself and for your family? And emotionally remember now that you can come back to this feeling at any time you want. Anytime that there's a cookie and you want to eat it, to remember, no, wait, I want to be a better example for my children. Or whatever your why is, whatever your intention is, continue to remind yourself throughout the week of why you are doing this cleanse. So together, let's do one more inhale. And as we exhale, open your eyes. And thank you for doing that with me. I also recommend you writing down your goals, your intentions, and telling as many people as possible. The more we put it out there, the more you're going to feel supported by your friends and family. We have the Facebook group that is going strong already. So if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, please go ahead and do that. And where it says welcome and introduce yourself, I would love to hear more about you and your intention for this cleanse. So we're going to first talk about the definition of a cleanse and a detox. So a detox is basically just a process by which the body gets rid of poisons in your body. And a cleanse is defined as removing dirt or making something clean. So throughout this program, you're going to hear me saying these two terms interchangeably. The main thing is, and I like to just make things simple, it's taking out the bad foods, and we're going to be adding in the good foods to release the toxins. And that is really the whole premise of our 5-day cleanse. So you might ask, okay, I signed up, but I'm not really quite sure why I am even supposed to be doing a cleanse. Well, the reality is, I think everyone knows we live in this increasingly toxic world, and we can choose to ignore all of this, which a lot of people do, or we can take action. So feel grateful to yourself that you have already stepped up to take action to make a difference in yourself. But most of us, we really are overexposed to toxins, and our bodies just cannot keep up. I mean, think about the chemicals that we have in our food today. There is, when you look at the back of a box, you know, we can't even hardly pronounce those words. How is our body supposed to digest them? They aren't. So they're just staying in our body. There's pesticides, there's artificial sweeteners and food dyes and chemicals in our cleaning formulas and in our skincare and all over. So we really need to do something and take action for it. So you're probably thinking, well, I thought the detoxing just happens naturally in our body. Yeah, it absolutely does, and it's pretty amazing. And it's really going on all the time without us realizing it. It's the same way that our lungs breathe and our hearts beat. We don't have to think about it. So the main organs that are involved in detoxing are the skin, the liver, the intestines, the kidneys, and the lungs. So we should cleanse, I usually suggest, and so does at my school, about once each season, each quarter, because these chemicals that we digest or ingest are linked to so many different things. And I won't read all of this, but it's hormone imbalance, it's weight gain, it's behavioral problems, ADHD, it's insulin resistance, heart disease, allergies. I'm sure a lot of you are probably suffering from allergies right now, asthma, anxiety, brain fog, chronic fatigue, and even cancer. So it's a very healthy thing to do. And even if you eat a healthy diet, which I do as well, I still do these cleanses with the group because it's great for us to continue to be healthy. So, and what a cleanse does, it basically is we're taking a break. We are not going to be ingesting any new chemicals or toxins. So then what happens is that then we can mobilize the existing toxins that may be within our body, and it's going to dump them into the bloodstream so we can get rid of them. And so if we don't take this break, our bodies are just going to continue to store more and more toxins in our fat cells. And I hate to say it, but it's usually that lower belly fat. The toxins like to hang on and go into those fat cells. And you can work out, you can eat healthy, but if you're still ingesting chemicals in your food, those fat cells are not going to be able to break down until you actually take action. So what happens if you don't do anything to clean out your system well? Unfortunately, if you have symptoms of, bloating, or maybe you're having some digestive issues, I know a lot of clients of mine come in with irregular digestive issues. A lot of people have food cravings, and I used to have this all the time, that I had these unhealthy food cravings, and it wasn't fun because it controlled me. And it's so wonderful that I don't feel deprived. I feel the freedom to eat what I want to eat, and I actually crave vegetables, and I did not eat a lot of vegetables before I got healthy. Skin issues. It's amazing when I see people with skin issues. I just want to say, okay, are you eating dairy? You probably have a dairy intolerance. If someone's talking about aching joints, I'm thinking, oh, you probably have something going on with gluten. And so when we do this cleanse and we take out all of these inflammatory foods, we kind of like conquer a lot of different issues, and you can see how your own unique body will react. A lot of people talk about that they have sleep issues. I didn't realize when I wrote my workshop, Secrets to Sleep, it would be as popular as it is, and it's one of my most popular workshops to date, because sleep is makes a huge difference in your everyday life. So you might be sleeping more deeply. And brain fog, oh my goodness. When we clean out the chemicals, it's amazing how much clearer we can think. And then, of course, weight loss. And I just want everyone to note that when you are measuring your success of this cleanse, it's not all about the weight loss. It's also about how your clothes fit. I think a lot of people know there's a big difference there. How the food cravings are, how you feel in your skin and in your body and your energy. So really think about all the different parts of that. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, what do I expect out of these 5 days cleanse? What did I decide to sign up for? So this is like the most important thing I'm going to say. This is the rules right here. What you can expect to do is basically just take out all your processed foods. So we are going to be taking out sugar, dairy, gluten, corn, white potatoes, red meat, pork, alcohol, and caffeine. Now, when I say caffeine, I'm saying it with a smile, that this cleanse can be revised to meet anyone's needs. If you have done this cleanse before and you understand that coffee does not adversely affect you, then feel free to keep coffee into your body. If you have not tried it before, I invite you to take it out. And in the handbook, I have a way of how to wean yourself off starting right now, so that on Monday you don't have the awful headaches. If you are like, I just can't do that, what I would suggest is just to have 1 cup of coffee before 9 a.m. and talk to me about what you put into your coffee. I don't want to see any of these processed foods with creamers. It's great just to take a can of like coconut milk and put it in the blender with some vanilla, and it is an amazing creamer that you can use, and that is going to be good for our body. So next week, we are going to be focusing on nutrient-dense foods, on foods that are going to support our emotions, support our muscles, support our brain. We are going to feel good. So we're going to be focusing on vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. I love it. If you can have vegetables with every meal, that is 2 thumbs up. Fruits, whole grains, proteins, the good healthy fats like avocados, salmon, things like that, and a lot and lots of water. So I would like you guys to start drinking your water right now. So take a sip. Cheers. So in the handbook, you're going to see, and I'm just going to show, I think you can see my little, I always like to make a little book with everything in it. So some people like to keep it organized this way. Some people like to keep it online. But I just want to show you that when you read the handbook, everything is going to be in there in much greater detail than what this is just a high level view during this webinar. But you'll be able to see exactly like, okay, oh my goodness, how can I go without dairy? No big deal. If you want, you can just substitute it real easily for almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk, different things like that. So I have in the handbook detailed information on great substitutions. So during the week, every single one of you is going to have a different experience. And each time, again, it's different when you cleanse. So most people have a lot better digestion. We want you to be going to the bathroom quite often, which also, increases your exercise. So that's good. It's amazing the clearer skin. People have commented over and over again that on like Friday, Saturday, people are just commenting and saying, "You look great. What's going on?" Even my mom just told me in the last cleanse that she did, and she's 83, that she gets comments about, "What are you doing? You look so young." So there's also some things that when you first start to detox, if you have a lot of chemicals in your body, typically the more symptoms that you will have in the first few days. So you could have some fatigue and low levels of energy. But then on the flip side, somebody else might have a lot of energy. What typically happens, though, is that you have low energy and fatigue and you don't feel the best in the first part. And in the last part, you're just flying high. Sometimes people get a little bit more emotional during a detox because things are letting go of our body. Some days you feel like, oh, I feel so heavy, and other days you feel light. There could be some mood swings. We have toxins that are coming out through our bloodstream. So different things could be happening. Headaches are something that could happen. If you have starting to get headaches, increase the water. We want to flush out those toxins as fast as we can. And a lot of times we can release the toxins, but we don't have enough liquid to actually flush them out. So make sure you drink lots of water. I also suggest not having Advil or Tylenol because those have chemicals in it, and we're trying to avoid those. So think about other ways like essential oils, peppermint and lavender, frankincense, having turmeric supplements. I love to get a turmeric that also has pepper in it. It's like that 1 + 1 = 10 in how it's absorbed. And turmeric is kind of like the Advil of natural food. So it's very anti-inflammatory. Some people get constipation or diarrhea, but most people just have more of a better digestion. The most important thing I think of this whole program is the personal insights that you will all get into your personal eating habits and your possible food attachments. I just did this detox on my own, or I did it with a couple health coaches actually, and I noticed I have definitely an attachment to tortilla chips. Yes, I'm a health coach, but I'm not perfect. So I love my chips. And I noticed like during the week, corn is my biggest food group that is hard for me to avoid. So each one of us is going to have a little bit different insights into what it is. Another detox I did, I noticed how much I eat off of my kids' plates. And, when they would have something, can I just have a bite of that? Can I have a little bit of that? And all those little things really add up. But improved sleep, weight loss. I've had people up to 14 pounds in 5 days. Now, the ones that are more extreme are people who are typically eating more of like a fast food diet. So when it's more extreme, when they go all whole foods. And then, of course, the reduction in cravings. I love the comments on Fridays when they're like, there's donuts in the break room. And I, for the first time, don't even want one. So, and I do want to share with you, because a lot of people are scared. Like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this. So first of all, you can. And I love quoting Henry Ford, if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you are right either way. So I love to tell my clients, feed your mind with hope, feed your brain with all supportive things, treat yourself like your own best friend, and tell yourself, what would you tell your best friend? You'd say, of course you can do hard things. You've done hard things in the past. So just knowing you might not feel that great for a couple days, and that is okay. Most likely, you're going to get, oh, like most things, you're going to get out of this cleanse what you put into it. And I am here to help you be as prepared as possible. So I am your health coach for this time period. So post in that Facebook page any concerns. We are going to be there for you. And I also invite you all to support each other. The more that somebody else is struggling, that you can chime in and talk to them about what are some suggestions that they can do, the more you're going to be accountable to yourself. And I have to say, I always have, every group I have, I go, oh my gosh, I have the best people in my cleanse. It is so much fun for me to be with all of you and helping to support you. So please reach out. I love it when people are just real. I don't want to be fake about, oh, this was easy, or this is a, feel free to talk about anything. And I ask for everyone to respect each other's privacy in what's going on. We can talk about poop. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is your time for you to have a reset. If you aren't on the Facebook group yet, it's on the handout. I put it in the emails. So you should see the link for different things like that. So it's really important during this time to listen to your body. We have messages all the time. And it was a huge aha moment when I realized, oh, when I listen to my body, I can find out what my unique body, what Lori Carney needs. If you are hungry, I want you to eat. Now, if you're thirsty, drink. If you're tired, sleep, or find a way to relax. When you feel hunger, sometimes we feel hungry and it's not really that we're hungry for food. We might be hungry because we've been sitting for so long at our computer. Maybe we're hungry because we just need to go for a walk and talk to a friend or have a hug. So when you feel that hunger strike and it's kind of at an odd time, drink a full glass of water, wait 20 minutes, distract yourself doing something else, then decide, okay, am I really hungry? And if you are, eat. Think about a good snack. Fat, fiber, and protein, that's the key thing. So I love, apple and almonds or veggies and hummus, something like that for a quick snack. So these 5 days, I want you to know these are an incredible opportunity for all of you, that you are going to be able to reconnect with your body and really learn to understand its messages. And when I say listen to your body, it's the pain in your body, it's your emotions, it's everything about you. My clients are always surprised when I say, keep a food diary, but I also want to hear, like, are you feeling tired? Are you feeling crabby? What's going on? So we can figure out what foods are best for you. So how are you going to prepare for this detox, and how are you going to get the most out of it? So number one, I know it sounds like a lot of work, but I have done so much work for you. It is incredible. So just read through all the materials. The protocol sheet and the checklist are really the most important ones of the manual. So with the handbook. So if you don't want to print the whole thing, don't worry, but you might want to print out the protocol sheet and the checklist. Decide what recipes that you want to make. So on the page 3 of the recipes, you're going to see we have create your own menu. So I do have a summary that what you can do. However, what I've noticed is that most people don't make a new meal for every meal. And really, if you're busy, that's not going to really work out for you. I have over probably 40 to 50 different recipes here. And the reason why I put so many recipes, it's not to overwhelm you, but it's because there's a variety of people that always come into my cleanses. So if you are somebody that you need meat, you need a lot more protein, you're going to see recipes with chicken and salmon and different things like that, different kinds of proteins. You're also going to see ones that are vegan. You're also going to see meals that are super easy, because I have a lot of busy professionals in this group. And then I have some ones that for the gourmet chefs that they want to have some more complex flavors. So what I want you to do is look through those recipes and see what you think you might like, or maybe your family would like. And we're going to go through this in a little bit more detail as well. But you can create your own with that plan. I love to say to double recipes. I don't like doing dishes. I'm a kind of a lazy cook, so I like to, if I'm going to make something, double it, and you can freeze it for the next week. You can eat it right then and there. I have a shopping form with lots of tips when you make the list, and befriend that bulk section, because if you've never had chia seeds before or flax seeds and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to like these weird things, just come in with your measuring spoons and cups and just buy what the recipe needs. Then you can experiment and see how your body reacts and what you think of this. Prepping is huge. It is just as anyone, when you have a job and you have to have an event or you're doing anything, you always plan for it, right? It's the same thing with our health. The more we can put out the plans, we're going to know what we're going to eat for those 5 days, and then we prep for it. So this weekend we're going to be prepping for it, and I have lots of suggestions in the shopping forms and in the handbook about buy the pre-cut veggies, buy the beets that are already cooked. There is nothing wrong with that, and in fact sometimes I do that because it's less expensive. Like the cauliflower frozen that's riced is actually sometimes less expensive than buying fresh cauliflower and then putting it in your food processor and having to wash it. So absolutely use all those shortcuts. I love buying just like the green juice at Fresh Time. It's $2.99 and it's all good detoxing ingredients, and it's a great snack, and I don't have to juice or get the blender going. So go ahead and do that. Focus, focus, focus on all the good that you can eat and not what you can't. And that is just a life lesson right there. I always focus on the good. The more we focus on the good, more things are going to happen. So think about all the food that you can eat. If you focus on, oh, I can't eat that, I can't eat that, wherever we put our intention is going to grow. So we want to put our intention on the positive things, that you, all the things that you can have. Again, slowly wean off of coffee if that's going to be an issue, and start adding more water into your diet today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about organic. Be mindful, just be aware of what you're doing. And I'm going to say this again, but check your spam junk email. I heard from somebody that they did not receive my emails, and it was I think it was in their junk mail. So please check that to make sure that you are getting my stuff, because it's really important information. So again, you know, in the handbook, page 8, that daily protocol is just as easy. This is as easy as it is. I love starting the day with a cup of 8 to 12 ounces of hot water with the juice of a half a lemon. This is an Ayurvedic technique that is getting your digestive juices flowing. So, and if you can wait, you know, 20, 30 minutes, then start with the rest of you know, your meal, your smoothie, whatever it is. Always having lots of water. I have a supplement guide. It's optional. If you have done this cleanse a few times, I suggest that you maybe look at this. If you're just going to do one supplement, milk thistle is usually one. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about this in a little bit. Mid-morning, like snacks, you know, lunch, thinking about what you want to have for dinner. And I would love, part of a cleanse is not just about what we eat, but it's about what we do. So the different kinds of exercise we have, slowing it down if you are running a lot, or maybe adding in some more self-care like yoga and walks in the woods. I would love you all to try to go to bed 15 to 30 minutes earlier. It is amazing how we naturally detox when we sleep, and so many of us are not getting enough sleep. Writing in a gratitude journal before you go to bed, and even like there's a whole, I've done a lot of bonus handouts if you haven't noticed. So another one is deepening your cleanse. If you would like to deepen your cleanse, there's many different things, and my favorite thing is an Epsom salt bath with essential oils, just to help that magnesium helps draw out the toxins. So I like to put like this daily checklist, because a lot of times people think, oh, this is going to be hard and it's complex. It's really just about, did you drink a lot of water today? Were you more mindful about moving throughout the day? Were you being conscious about your eating habits, tasting and chewing every single thing, practicing gratitude, sticking to the meal guidelines, and going to bed early? So it's as simple as that. So the Environmental Working Group puts out this fabulous list each year. Still waiting on 2018 to come out, but it's the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. Most of you have probably heard about this, but if we just take those dirty 12 that have the most pesticides in them when we eat them, we will reduce our pesticides in our body by 80%. So I know everyone is probably like, oh, but I'm on a budget. Just focus on the Clean 15. Don't worry about it. You can buy it conventional, but the Dirty Dozen, it is definitely worth that extra dollar or whatever it is to buy it without pesticides. And think about the rewards of feeling better, having more energy, and not having as many chemicals in your body. So some things, strawberries and spinach and apples, grapes, tomatoes, things like that are going to be on the Dirty Dozen list. So think about bringing that with you. I also have it on the shopping form as well. So we're just going to look through a couple recipes. So if you have them printed, you can have them in front of you. So, and I'm just going to go through some recipes as well. Yeah, just see. So the basics I'm going to have on page 4. So I love prepping in advance and making a bunch of quinoa, making a bunch of brown rice, and just make the whole bag at the beginning of the week. If you have too much, you can always just freeze it. I always just make like a whole bunch of it, so it's nice and easy. So for those of you that want a lot of easy meals, I'm just going to point a few out that are going to be quick and easy. Page 5 is the arugula avocado omelet. With these recipes, first of all, you don't have to make any of these recipes if you want. If you know you have some favorite go-to recipes that are all whole foods, go ahead, eat those. Share them with us, whatever you want to do. And you can also take a recipe and make it your own. I just made this arugula avocado omelet last week, but I had like mixed spring greens in my fridge, and so I made it with that instead. So think about what you can do, but this is, not much time. And what's nice is that, yes, I'm saying this is for breakfast, but you can really make, breakfast for dinner. I always call it, linner or binner, or whatever dinner, linner, whatever you want to call it. The carrot cake quinoa oatmeal on page 6, that is a time, it takes a lot of time to make that, but it's really good and it makes a lot. So if that looks appealing to you, I wanted to warn you on that. I did receive a question via email about the juice, because I think this is the first time I have juice in one of my recipes. So I advise you to, the top way would be to get like the fresh squeezed juice from the co-op, and ask for just, 1 cup of it. Otherwise, just make sure when you're buying juice from a carton that it is 100% juice. There is nothing added to it, and that's all there is to it. And let's see here. The cauliflower turkey sausage patties on page 7. I just had those for lunch. So this makes a great big batch of it. Kids like it. So it's a favorite. They look like little sausage patties, and I'll post some pictures on the Facebook so you can see what they look like. But like yesterday, I just had it with some sliced avocados and some cooked beef that I had in the fridge, because I had some leftovers of that. So think about what you want to do with that. Page 8. Oh, it's one of my favorite granolas, Cocoa Nutty granola, and it makes like 64 ounces. So you're going to be set if you make it this weekend. And I also put on the bottom that play around with this. Some of you really love oats, so add the oats. Otherwise, this is mainly focused on nuts. Again, because I don't like to spend a ton of time in the kitchen, I buy like chopped nuts. I buy things that are already done, so I don't have to do it myself. I'm just going to skip around here. On page 10 is the spring sushi rolls. And yes, I've never had sushi rolls in here before, but they are just delicious. So I just wanted to point out some things. And, mine don't look as pretty. And I made them. I work with a chef to get my recipes. And so I made them like they suggested. I have also rolled them. So you do whatever you want. But these are just going to be the nori sheets. And there's really good, added more instructions on what to do. If you want to have wasabi, kind of looks like this, you can make the cream with it. Otherwise, you can just use like coconut aminos. And coconut aminos and tamari sauce These are basically soy sauce without any gluten, and they taste wonderful. So I highly suggest if you have soy sauce in your fridge, just use these two things instead, because they're great for so many things, and they're going to be in a few different recipes as well. Let's see here, what else? Oh, page 12, the Chinese chicken chop salad with ginger dressing. Favorite salad. Like, I could eat this almost every day. I love it so much. You can eat it without chicken too. And so if I don't feel like eating meat, 'cause I don't eat meat every day, I just sprinkle some pumpkin seeds, some other things that to add more protein. I just wanted to show some of these things might be really familiar to you, but somebody else might go, I have no idea what ginger looks like. So I just like raided my fridge so you can all see, but you would just grate some ginger into that dressing. I also like to make a lot of dressing, so then when you make other salads that week, you can just use that same dressing if you would like. On page 13 is the roasted vegetable and quinoa salad. This is a template for anything you want to make. I made this for Easter. I make this all the time. The vegetables that I put in here are vegetables that you may have not used, because I want you to experience different flavors, and also these are detoxifying ones. So fennel is also known as anise, so it might show up as two different ways in the grocery store, but you can use whatever vegetables you want. So again, I want you to be creative and see what works for you. Page 14, the asparagus salad with boiled eggs. This weekend, I invite you to boil some eggs as a prep. That's typically pretty easy to do when you have it done, and this is like a 5-minute salad if your eggs are already done, maybe not even that. So just, I'm not going to point out all of these, but just some family favorites too. Page 16, my daughters love the sesame chicken stir fry with asparagus. And a sesame seed oil is also just another favorite staple to have, because it adds a lot of flavor to your foods. Asparagus is very detoxifying, and I like to have recipes that are using the produce that is in season for right now. So there's so many good recipes. And also page 20, the Moroccan chicken with steamed broccoli. My daughters also really loved this one, and so you can make a lot of this and use it in different things. I have alternative recipes which are just as good. They just happen to be over there, so there's nothing wrong with them. And again, I like to put some easy ones in here as well. Page 26, another family favorite is the balsamic chicken with mushroom and thyme. I actually spoke last night at a women's Catholic conference as the keynote, and they asked my suggestions, and that is what they served for everyone for dinner. It was really fun to see it done for 200 people. And 27, I know you're going to look at it and go, that sounds strange. It is so good and so easy. It's the sauteed Swiss chard and chickpeas. I do want to point out, chickpeas also has another name, and it's called garbanzo beans. So when you are looking at the store and you might be seeing garbanzo beans, or maybe you're seeing chickpeas, whatever it is the exact same thing. So you just really need to get the Swiss chard, the smoked paprika, and Swiss chard, kale. All of those greens are high on the nutrient scale. Let's see what other favorite ones here. Page 30, salads. Spring is the time that most people have the biggest weight loss, because we want to have more salads, we want to have more green juices. So I invite you to really look at the salads as well and see what you think. I do have also quick meal ideas, quick snacks, because we don't have to be using recipes. It doesn't have to be fancy. A lot of times I just quickly, make an egg scramble or whatever I have left over, and that is, I encourage all that. I also have some sweet treats in here. If you want to go deeper into your cleanse, avoid any form of glucose and fructose. But if it's that wherever you are, it's okay if you need it. So I have some ideas. So adding, not in refined sugar, but having things that have like 100% maple syrup or some dates or some honey, so that you can have a little bit of sweetness, but also having some nutrients in there as well. I love to have cookies in my cleanses whenever possible, and this is by far the easiest cookie recipe you will ever find. So it's the 1-2-3 nut cookies. They look a little different, and they're great snacks, so I would invite you to make those this weekend as well. And we have the smoothie and juice and elixir detox water guide that is updated. So if you have done the cleanse before, it is new, I have some new things in there. I don't always talk about that a lot, but spring and summer are the seasons to really go for looking at more of the juices as snacks and having more of the smoothies as some of your meals. And I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint here to share. So again, optional supplements, this is what I suggest if you want. Again, this is completely optional. I do love to suggest tea. So for those of you that might be giving up coffee, green tea is okay because it's the healthy kind of caffeine. And I love like having sweet teas like blueberry slim tea and Tulsi pomegranate tea. Those are my favorites. Also, these are actually taste really good. You know, a lot of these everyday organic, traditional medicinals. And I put down in the handbook lots of different ideas and brands and things like that. But just a quick glimpse of why I am telling you to have these, because I want to help you detox yourself faster. And these are going to help draw it out. Again, if you haven't been on the Facebook group for questions, please join that group. Next, it's like, okay, what are we doing? We're going to talk about the transition already? Yes, we are, because I want you to know that this is a very important webinar to be at. So that's going to be next Friday from about 12:30 to 1. And I want you to all remember that this is not a short-term diet. Yes, it's 5 days and it sounds like a diet, but what I'm encouraging is for you to, again, connect with what you like, the new habits, what maybe a bad habit you can let go of. And so thinking about what you can have for a long-term change. You don't need to keep eating this way, but you can have maybe 1 or 2 things. Also, I want to note that I eat like this most of the time. You can stay eating like this if you want. This is set up for 5 days, but most of the time I have people that go, no, I'm going to do it for 7. I'm going to do it for 10. I'm going to do it for 14. So feel free to, in our Facebook group under your introductions, to state how many days you're going to do it for. And you can even decide on Friday, hey, I'm going to extend it over the weekend or whatever you choose. So I'm going to be coming into some questions and answers. So if you want to start posting those into the chat room, that would be great. I do want to let you know as you start typing those in that tonight I have a fun opportunity for all of you if you live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I'm going to be giving some free wellness workshops. It's a Rosemont Ladies Night, so 5 to 5:30. And also from 7 to 7:30, it's going to be how to detox your body for beginners. So I'm going to go deeper into why we need to detox. And then 6 to 6:30 is going to be how to kick the sugar habit. My friend Eduardo Drake is also going to be doing some mindfulness classes in between. And those are absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend you coming to those. So we're going to be with some other people at Divine Time. You can get your tarot cards read, whatever you want to do, and lots of discounts. Divine Time, which is by Denim or Divas and Denim. And it's all free. So that is pretty great. So I'm just going to stop the share here. And also, I do want to point out, I have this meetup group, and it's called Wanna Be Healthy South Metro. And this is the link. If anybody is interested, I post all my things, events on there. And it's a fun way. A lot of my things are free just to keep up and motivated to stay healthy. And I'm going to be doing some things in Minneapolis, so it's not all going to be in the South Metro this summer. So that will be great. Okay, so if you have any questions, please put them in the chat room, and I am happy to answer them. I'm just going to grab the ones that I had that have been emailed. Somebody was asking about the salad dressings. So yes, you can make any of the salad dressings that I have here. I have actually more recipes on my website on mindfulhealthwithlori.com under resources if you want more. Making your own salad dressing is not time consuming. It's just more of a mental block, but I like to use a mason jar, so then each time I can just shake it up. But there are some salad dressings you can buy, and typically they're going to be more in the refrigerated section. The ones that are more on just on the shelf typically have a lot of ingredients that we don't want to have. So you can buy things in a bag or in a bottle, as long as they're all real ingredients and stick to the guidelines. So like Salad Girl, a Primal one, things like that. A lot of times I can't give you exact brands because some of the brands have some ones that are good and some that aren't. So just make sure you read the label for that. Somebody was asking about fruit and different types of veggies if they are allowed. So all vegetables. We just are taking out of corn, if you consider corn a vegetable, and then the white potatoes. And the main reason is because we have a lot of emotional attachments to white potatoes, and a lot of people would just eat potatoes the whole week if that's what was allowed. And corn is a very inflammatory food, and like I said, that's my hardest one to give up. So I want you to go crazy with vegetables. The greener the better. With fruit, have in moderation, but that's what I would encourage when you're having that the sweet tooth coming in. Have a naturally occurring fruit or vegetable. So whether it's a sweet potato or an apple or an orange, go ahead and eat that. I had another question just about milk thistle. Somebody's already taking it. So it usually loses its efficacy if you take it long term. So if you take it long term, I would say to go down to 50 milligrams, and then during the detox to ramp it up for what I have recommended. Let's see. Okay, why no red meat? Yeah, so red meat is just harder on our digestion to break down. So we're just giving our body a good rest. So just, focus on chicken and turkey, wild caught fish, beans, lentils, quinoa. There's so many different ways to get the protein in there. So that's always a good thing. Let's see. I just wanted to comment that, somebody was just saying that they're a little nervous, and I just want you to just breathe, know that you got this, know that we are all here for you in that Facebook group. Post any questions, honestly, just feel free to ask that. And I know you're not going to regret this. Nobody ever does. They just love how they feel at the end. Yes, somebody asked about sugar-free gum. Yeah, so I would encourage you not to have that, because I bet if you look at the label, it's going to have some artificial sweeteners, which I would not at all ever drink or eat an artificial sweetener, because it just wreaks havoc on the brain, and it also makes you crave more sweet food. So those Diet Cokes and different things like that are not a good thing. Somebody asked about sparkling water, and yeah, that is great. If you just make sure, like I like LaCroix brand, different things like that, just make sure it's just water and whatever that flavor is. We don't want to have any added sugars or anything like that. Lemons. Yeah. So I do buy organic lemons, and mainly because I like to put my lemons in my water, and I like to put them right out there. So let's see. Any other questions at all? I'm not seeing anything, so I don't think we have any more. But I just wanted to say again, thank you. I'm so grateful that you are all here. If you have any friends, family, neighbors, soccer moms, anybody that you think would benefit from this, it is a lot of fun. I mean, I truly try to make this a fun, healthy experience, and it's super, super, super supportive. So I invite you to have them join in. The early bird rate is valid until tomorrow, and the registration is open until Sunday, so they can still join in. If you have any questions again or anything, please let me know. I hope to see some of you tonight. I would love to, and if I haven't met you, I would love to see you. I'm also going to be doing a free workshop at Soul Fest in Rosemont next Saturday. It's that Saturday before Mother's Day, and have one at the end of the month at Valley Natural Foods about understanding your love languages. So it's really fun for me when I get hired by someone and it's sponsored, and then the public can come to it as well. Again, thank you so much. Sending lots of love, and wish you all luck. You don't need it because you're going to do great. So take care. Bye-bye.